Welcome to this episode of the Appalachian Weekly News. I'm your host, Nick Ragone.
And I'm your host, Elena Jones. Thank you for joining us for our last episode of the semester. It's been a chilly winter up here in the high country already, much earlier than expected. I know I was surprised. AWN Tessa Coakley spoke with other students to see how they felt about the winter weather coming so soon.
It's that time of year again for us mountaineers, where the snow is blowing and the fun commences.
It's not even December, yet mountaineers felt the familiar chill of winter and strapped up for some fun around school.
We're at Sanford Mall. I found a couple of students and I named them Mattress Guys because obviously they're having a lot of fun sledding down Sanford Mall in the hills. What was your thought process going to get a whole mattress in order to sled?
We looked in the dumpster and we were gonna sled down a couch, but that seemed a little too heavy. So we saw this prime piece of real estate right here, and then we thought it would be fun. You know, we buttered it up, and then it goes really good.
We made a snowman earlier, and we went sledding. We made one over there. He's the wind. He's wearing a toboggan and a little App State scarf or handkerchief. So.
Have you named your snowman?
Yeah, he's Happy Appy the snowman.
Some students, in fact, have utilized the snow day to relieve some of the stress from finals and the end of the semester.
I've used this snow day as a time to just sit down and do my work after playing in the snow, of course.
Guys, I've had so much fun. I'm all snowed out for this day, and I hope you guys are much warmer than me. We're gonna close it out with my friend Larry right here. Larry, any final words? All right, guys, that's it for today.
Although the snow can be fun, freezing temps can be dangerous. Here are some tips to keep you safe. If you plan on spending time outdoors, dress in loose, warm layers. Be sure to cover your hands with warm gloves or mittens and your feet with thick socks, as those areas are the most prone to frostbite. Waterproof boots are important, and wear a scarf to cover your mouth to protect your lungs from inhaling cold air. Freezing point is 32 degrees Fahrenheit. To prevent your pipes in your home from freezing, leave your cabinets open to allow the heat of your home to reach the pipes. Another tip is to set your faucet at a drip to allow water to run through your pipes. And most importantly, set your thermostat no lower than 55 degrees. Also, be sure to place any objects at least 3 feet away from a heat source. If you have pets or outdoor animals, make sure you bring them inside or in a warmer area. Stock up on food and water because, as we know, sometimes roads do become impassable to get to a store. For your cars, be sure to check your tire pressure and tread, plus your antifreeze and fuel levels. And it's always good to have water and a blanket inside your car as well.
Before Old Man Winter hit, the fall season was a difficult time in the high country. Hurricane Helene brought much destruction to the area, but it was also showed the strength and resiliency of our community. AWN Greer Hodge tells us more about the group who went above and beyond to help those in need.
Disasters are inevitable. Every year, hurricanes, tornadoes, fires, and floods impact United States communities. Since 1998, Samaritan's Purse U.S. disaster relief teams have been prepared to respond swiftly in Jesus' name. Partnering with local churches and volunteers, they have enabled their mission in North America for over 2 decades. Samaritan's Purse is a non-denominational evangelical Christian organization dedicated to providing spiritual and physical aid to those in need around the globe. Since 1970, they have been addressing the needs of people affected by war, poverty, natural disaster, disease, and famine to share God's love.
So at Samaritan's Purse U.S. Disaster Relief, we are always watching the weather and watching storms. And so as Helene was forming, we started watching and we started mobilizing our teams to pre-stage for Florida and for Georgia responses. And then as the storm came up this way and had just devastation beyond belief, beyond what we would have thought would have happened here, it enabled us to take some of our other equipment and other staff to be able to mobilize here to respond to the needs here in the high country of North Carolina. So as Samaritan's Purse responded to this area, typically within U.S. Disaster Relief, we mobilize volunteers to help tarp roofs, to do the clean out of homes, to cut up those trees that have fallen, to be able to help people move to the next step of recovery. But here in this area, because of the terrain of the area, it left a lot of differing things that you don't expect within the United States, with roads washed out and bridges gone. And so that did provide a need for generators to people who were out in remote areas to access that you couldn't access by car. And so we were able to mobilize helicopters in order to deliver those generators, that food, that water that was desperately needed in those areas as well. Again, just something we don't expect to need in the United States, but unique to this area.
As Samaritan's Purse goes out and serves, they meet those physical needs, but the best way that they believe they can measure it is to know that they have met people's emotional and spiritual needs. The ministry wants to ensure that citizens have the physical things they need and that they know they are cared for and loved.
So I think when a disaster hits at home, no matter where you are, a disaster is bad if it's your home. But as we respond here in the high country, in the Boone area, in the Asheville area, so many people are employees, their friends, their family. So it's a unique experience that it's not just the stranger that you're ministering to. Well, we're ministering to a lot of those as well. It's also those friends and family. And so there's just a close connection to be able to help as many people as you can.
Initially, the organization had 2 sites in Florida and 1 in Georgia to provide resources there. But as the needs became evident in the high country, they have 3 sites between Boone, Asheville, and Mitchell County. Samaritan's Purse is an organization equipped with people as well as the tools and equipment to be able and serve multiple locations at a time so that everyone can feel the love.
I heard a story the other day from a team lead that they had a little bit of extra time at the end of the day, and so they had gone up to look at a home that they were going to start tarping the next morning. And so they were just going up to make sure they knew what they were headed up against, make sure they had all the right tools. And they met that homeowner, and she just started telling their story. And for over an hour, that team sat there and just listened to her tell her story about she'd lost her husband and she was disconnected with her grown children. And that team just patiently listened. They weren't accomplishing any physical work, but the impact they made came at the very end when that homeowner looked at that team lead and said, "I have never felt this much love in a long time." Know that our volunteers see the importance of not just completing physical work, but really investing in people and loving on people. It's just amazing and almost makes me cry. I know that our teams do love to go in, and we know that the faster we get somewhere, the more quickly a structure can be saved. And so we're thankful for that, but more importantly, it means that those people have the opportunity to be able to get back into their homes more quickly to be able to do it. And so it is very satisfying, but more importantly, that also puts you there at a time when people are in greatest need, just emotionally. And so to be able to love and support those people in that process is just an amazing experience.
So many things have changed on the mountain in the wake of the hurricane, including where to get your supplies.
Walmart is a big part of that equation. We'll give you the latest update on what is going on with the Supercenter. After all, we never realized how much we would miss a Walmart.
Education is vital for growth and progress. What we learn shapes our future and the world that lies before us. That's why App State keeps advancing our founding mission of access to academic excellence. New programs provide new opportunities. New facilities open new doors for faculty and students. Tomorrow's solutions can be found here today. Here at the premier public undergraduate institution in the Southeast, here at App State.
What once were rows of crops are now hallways for growing our future. The old ways that served generations before are now the perfected paths of tomorrow. These mountains have always called to the pathfinder, the trailblazer, the innovator. The faces and structures may change, but one thing remains constant: access to higher education, here and always at App State.
Hello and welcome to this edition of the Appalachian Weekly News. I'm Jenna Dunning.
And I'm Hunter Boston. We have you covered on all things Ashe, Avery, and Watauga County.
Welcome back to Black at App State TV. I'm your host, Rhea Autry, and we are so happy to have you here with us today.
Bienvenidos a otro episodio Buenos Días Boone. Yo soy Natalia Guiar.
Y yo soy Denise Casales.
Hello and welcome back to another brand new episode of Can't Think Straight. Hello and welcome to this episode of Connected Cultures.
This is Adam Church, live with the Adam Church Band, RFG, baby.
Hello and welcome to Religion and Life. I'm your host, Ozzy Ostwald.
Welcome back to a brand new episode of The A-Game.
It's a good moment, you know?
Hi, Pixels.
Oh my God, no.
That doesn't sound good at all.
Welcome back, my fellow insomniacs.
Sometimes you take things for granted like Walmart, but when you're in a small mountain community, Walmart is so important to the infrastructure of our community. Well, Walmart flooded during the hurricane and everything inside the building was ruined. Literally everything. For an update, let's go to AWN's Tessa Coakley.
Guys, although Hurricane Helene is almost 2 months behind us now, the effects of the storm are more prevalent than ever within the Boone community. One of the hardest hit areas right here off Meadowview Drive is going to be a place where students, natives, and travelers all stop for their one-stop shop, Walmart.
The once bustling parking lot is now desolate and quiet, with only the sounds of debris being thrown away and the occasional security car patrolling for potential looters passing by. Hundreds of employees from Walmart have been displaced and or completely unemployed thanks to Hurricane Helene. Sources from Walmart say that those who are willing to commute to neighboring towns can clock into their local Walmart and hopefully get hours there.
I knew they were going to flood, and they still called me in to work. I decided not to go in because I didn't want my car to get damaged or anything like that. And they, of course, flooded. They were destroyed. It's been a complete loss for them. They called me back in, told me what the situation was, that I was probably going to be out of work for a while, and that we were going to get supporting pay for a week after. I didn't have any hours scheduled, so I didn't get any supporting pay after. And they told us that we could go to any Walmart outside of town and go clock in and work there, and that wasn't really an option for me.
Currently, Walmart has a trailer to substitute for a makeshift pharmacy that is open Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and on Sundays from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Here's the question everyone in the high country is asking. When is Walmart going to reopen again? We reached out to Walmart officials asking for an interview, but instead they provided us with a statement saying that we're working closely with the city, state, and federal officials on steps necessary to reopen the Supercenter and look forward to opening as soon as possible. When that happens is a big discussion within the high country. Some residents have spoken with Walmart employees who have indicated that dry goods will be the first to open up. Then refrigeration and frozen goods as soon as possible after that. Back to you.
I don't know about you, Nick, but I sure do miss having a Walmart.
Yeah, right? Like, where am I going to get my tennis balls?
Students are wanting Walmart to open because they'll need supplies for the new semester. App State students are back from winter break on January 13th. March 6th is the annual iBack App celebration. It is a time for alumni and students alike to support the university and its various departments.
Spring break will run the week of March 10th to March 14th and into the weekend. Classes will start again on the 17th. After the last day of classes on April 30th, students will begin their final exams on May 2nd and then continue them the next week from May 5th to May 8th. Finally, it'll be time to celebrate those who are graduating on May 9th and May 10th. Merlefest is back and bigger than ever. The iconic music celebration is confirmed for its 37th year, returning to Wilkesboro, North Carolina from April 24th to the 27th. Presented by Window World, Merlefest 2025 will feature an all-star lineup with headliners like the Dead South, Wyatt Flores, the Warren Treaty, the Avett Brothers, and many more. Each day will bring unforgettable performances, starting with an opening day lineup on Thursday. From unique collaborations you'll only see here to heart-stopping performances on the Watson stage, Merlefest is where memories are made. For those in the high country during the winter season, here are some events to keep you busy and entertained. For those who like skiing and snowboarding, App Ski Mountain, Beach Mountain Ski Resort, and Sugar Mountain Ski Resort, as well as Hawks Nest Tubing, are all open for the season. The Festival of Lights at Chatola Resort will be going on until January 25th.
If you like country music, Hall of Famer Ricky Skaggs will be at the Appalachian Theater in downtown Boone on January 18th. And every Thursday, there will be live music at the Beacon Butcher Bar. Don't go anywhere. When we come back, we'll be taking a look at the new addition to the town of Boone.
Are you talking about all the snow on the ground?
No.
Well, since we're talking about snow and the ski mountains, we wanted to show you the scene at the elevation of 5,006 feet on Beach Mountain. Get up and support your local businesses and have some fun in the process. Just be careful.
Welcome to Boone, North Carolina. Located along the Blue Ridge Parkway, nestled in the Appalachian Mountains, there is no place like it. Take a stroll down charming King Street, where you are sure to see a familiar face welcoming you. In the summer, go tubing down the New River, where the water runs almost as deep as our Mountaineer pride. When the leaves change in the fall, pack a picnic and head to Thunder Hill Overlook, where the skyline is so vibrant you can't help but send a picture to all of your family and friends. In the winter, check out one of our nearby ski resorts, where Yosef might just challenge you to a race down the slopes. And year-round, you can take in some of the most breathtaking views wherever you turn. As soon as you arrive in Boone, you'll realize there is something special in these mountains. Welcome home, and welcome to the Valley.
Things have changed here on the mountain for many businesses after Hurricane Helene. Yet there was one business that opened just days before the storm hit. Jake Casey gets sheetsy with it to show how the all-purpose store is giving back to the community. It's all part of AWN's series on high country business.
3, 2, 1.
Boone's first ever Sheetz location has been a hot spot since it first opened. Most food options in Boone are not open after 11 p.m., and with a growing student population at App State, there's been a high demand for a 24-hour food location. Sheetz answers that dilemma with round-the-clock food, gas, and other items.
Forget butter on a Christmas day, we sell it.
The Boone location is the 851st Sheetz to open in the country. Located on the corner of New Market Boulevard and 421, the store offers all the classic menu favorites.
Sheetz Guest 803, your order's ready for pickup.
It's going to be great food, and we're open 24/7, 365 during Christmas, any holidays, any major events. So when your mom don't want to cook food, you come to Sheetz. When your dad don't want to make food, come to Sheetz. If you don't want to make food, come to Sheetz. We'll make it for you.
It was just an area that they've always wanted to go to. I mean, we've been in North Carolina, I believe, since 2005. So we've been here a while, and we're all over the state, but we were never really in the mountains.
Sheetz Guest Joanne Lanford, your order's ready for pickup.
Sheetz is also supplying jobs to the high country. So whether you're an App State student or a high country local, Sheetz is hiring.
We have several App State students that we have coming in to work for us. Fantastic energy, amazing people. I'm so proud of the people that we've employed. We've also been given opportunities for the local community to work shift work. Maybe they have kids at home and they need specific schedules.
So all this talk about food and drink has made me awfully thirsty. And man, have I been eyeing this slushie. So after we get done filling up, how about we go outside and see what the community thinks about the opening of their very own Sheetz. Delicious.
I love Sheetz, and they're going to have some good prices, and that kind of thing. And also it's family oriented, I'm going to be able to bring my children, my grandchildren here.
Sheetz keeps up with how many places you visited. So I'm already exceeded over 100 as far as Sheetz to travel. And luckily this one in Boone, I've been eyeing it for a while.
Oh, this would be great for the community. I live, right next door, so I'll be here late night after the football game, especially tonight football game. I'll probably be here getting some dinner or something.
Most importantly, Sheetz is giving back to the high country. This location is partnering with Second Harvest Food Bank to help people in need.
My job is to be the store rescue manager, and so we cover 18 counties in North Carolina, and we look at 20 different chains of retail stores in those 18 counties, and we connect our local food pantries to those retail stores to pick up their extra food and donations.
The store's quick service, tasty food, and round-the-clock hours will make it a popular spot in Boone for years to come.
In other high country business news, the Carolina Pizza Company in Boone has closed. Known for their New York-style pizza, the business announced on social media that they moved their resources to the Newland location after recent damages due to Hurricane Helene. The Newland store experienced flooding and a destroyed basement. The Boone space, located on King Street right next to Sabing, is now up for lease. The community has continued to show its support for the business after being closed for repairs. The Newland location finally reopened on November 29th.
While we're talking about business, you may be looking for something to do to stay warm this winter. Well, look no further than River Street Ale House. Every Wednesday night, they host a bingo night with a musical twist. My very own co-anchor Nicholas Ragone has the story.
Bingo is a game that has been around for years. In fact, it can be traced through the ends of time. But the popular version of what we see today was invented in the 1920s by a man named Hugh J. Ward. And now there's a bar in Boone that has added a unique twist to it.
The reason we started doing music bingo to begin with was because Wednesdays generally in the past were one of our slowest days of the week historically. So we wanted to have some sort of event going on to bring people in. And we've been doing it for at least 2 years now, I would say, because it has definitely helped out our Wednesdays a lot. I'd say your typical Wednesday, we probably have 3/4 of the annex full, plus a couple extra tables across. So our capacity is 220 people in here. So I would say it's probably around 100, maybe 75 people that show up at least on average for music bingo, and some people just, really like it, so they come back every single week, you know what I mean? So we end up getting like regulars that we wouldn't see other days of the week because of music bingo.
Musical bingo is nothing without, well, the music to accompany it. In fact, the DJ is the heartbeat of music bingo.
So actually, we pay for a program. It's called Extreme Bingo, and I literally just go in the back and I print out the papers and I bring it out here, hit play on it, and it just plays by itself. I kind of pick the genres by, looking at the crowd and seeing who's in here. If there's older people, I'll do like country or like 70s, 80s music. If there's younger people, I'll do like, 2000s hip hop and dance, stuff like that.
But that is only half of it. Music bingo can't exist without any of the players to keep the game going.
Yeah, so I just thought it would be something fun to come and do on a Wednesday, come out, get some food, and play something different I haven't heard of before.
A game that was added to River Street Ale House's lineup to fill an empty spot on Wednesday nights has quickly become a mainstay. Adding music to the old-style bingo game has become an enjoyable way to spend your Wednesday night here in the High Country.
So, Nick, do you know what will keep you warm this winter?
Well, the two of us are graduating, so hopefully leaving Boone would be a pretty good start.
Well, our sports scene is heating up on the mountain.
Is it? That comes after a hot and cold performance for football on the mountain. Speaking of chilly, here's a look at the beautiful town of Blowing Rock. It's a great place to cozy up with a loved one and have some hot chocolate during a cold winter's day.
Life is a journey. We're told that there are mountains and valleys before us. A mountaineer trudges through. Where others see an obstacle, a mountaineer sees an opportunity. A mountaineer climbs tomorrow's mountains today. So what is a mountaineer? A mountaineer is you.
Let's go!
To a place where you can grow.
A place to be heard.
And take a closer look.
A place where you can crush it.
And push yourself.
A place to find your voice. This place rocks. And rolls.
A place where you can get out.
Wow! A place you'll never forget.
So where is this place? Let me show you.
Sean Clark is no longer the head coach for App State football. This comes after a 5-6 season, missing a second bowl game in 3 years. In his 6 years as head coach, he led App State to a 40-24 record and went 3-1 in bowl appearances. The next hire will be the 23rd head coach in program history. Clark's tenure comes to an end after a loss to rival Georgia Southern by a score of 29-20. This loss squandered any hope that the Mountaineers had of reaching a bowl game. App State won its season opener, but was crushed by Clemson on the road in primetime. The team also suffered its worst home loss in program history. The Mountaineers rallied to put themselves in a position to be eligible to go to a bowl game, but a trip to Statesboro, Georgia ruined that. A lot of questions surround the team with the search for a new head coach, the loss of departing seniors, and the anticipated transfer portal departures, and the loss of star quarterback Joey Aguilar and star wide receiver Caden Robinson. But don't forget, we are Mountain Strong, and we will fight back next year.
On the other side of the sports spectrum, it was a phenomenal season for Watauga High School's football program. The team won the Northwest 4A Conference for the 7th straight season. In fact, the Pioneers had a perfect 10-0 regular season record. Watauga won its opening round of the North Carolina State playoffs, but lost in the second round playoff game against Mallard Creek. AWN's Brian Alonzo speaks with head coach Ryan Hobbick about the season.
Tough way to end the season for the Watauga Pioneers. Coach, this is a rematch from last year's playoff game against Mallard Creek. This time they came with the victory. What were the differences?
Well, obviously I think they were ready for us. They're a better football team this year than they were last year. Their front seven was better, very physical, very fast. I think they had a very good game plan against us. We knew what it was going to be, but we did not do a very good job blocking them. But you can't sneak up on a Mallard Creek 2 years in a row. Last year we got some big plays against them, some trick plays that they were ready for. Offensively, they were more of a wildcat. They ran the football more than passed the ball, so they're a little bit more dynamic where you had to defend the quarterback run game and their running back. We just couldn't get anything going offensively. And a lot of that had to do with how good they were on defense, and we didn't do a very good job blocking, but you got to give them credit. It was hard to block them. They're just so athletic, and we didn't move the ball enough to really put the game in a position where we can get some trick plays and beat them. So, again, I give them a lot of credit, but they were better, and we probably didn't do as good a job up front as we did last year.
You mentioned it was a tough game defensively. I mean, they had 3 or 4 guys on one person. How did that factor into this game?
Well, it was one of those things I felt, our quarterback, I think, was a marked man. Maddox had a really good game against them last year. I think Maddox ran for 150 yards and threw for 150 yards last year against them. So he was a marked man. They did a good job taking out the quarterback run game, but we didn't block very good up front. Passing, we just couldn't create separation with our receivers and get guys open. And then pass protection was really tough too. And then the option game, we didn't do a very good job with the option game. I thought that, a lot of our plays, our quarterback's reading 2 guys, so we're not blocking them, but our players have to block the other guys. We didn't do a very good job of blocking guys that we were supposed to block, so it really put a lot of pressure on our quarterback. And it's, again, when you have a quarterback and you got 8 guys running to him, it's hard to make plays. So I like the way our guys fought in the second half. It's just, I think we were a little bit overmatched against a team that's bigger, stronger, and much faster than we were.
Now, towards the end of the game, you had a very sentimental moment with your seniors. Tell me more about that.
Well, our seniors are special. I think we really started this thing in 2016 when we lost to Dudley. We always talk to the seniors about leaving Jersey in a better place. We got that from the New Zealand All-Black team. We want our seniors to be leaders of the program. Every one of our seniors can say that they were a football captain for the Watauga Pioneers. So it's always special. I've known these seniors because my son's a senior on the team, and all his friends are playing football. So to have 20 seniors go in your program and stay in the program is pretty special, especially because some of these seniors were role players. They didn't have big roles on the team, and they stuck it out. They played hard throughout the year. They played for one another, and they certainly left the Jersey in a better place.
Well, thank you so much. Sentimental way to end the season for the Watauga Pioneers. 21 seniors leaving the Pioneers, but Coach Hobbick hopes to turn around next year with a new team.
Thank you for joining us for this cool edition of the Appalachian Weekly News, and for joining us for Elena and I's final show of our App State careers.
Here's a beautiful wintry look at King Street. I sure will miss the excitement of snowfall here in Boone.
I won't.
I don't know. I love the cold weather up here.
Yeah, well, your tune would change if you lived on top of a giant hill like I do.
That is very true. Though we will be missing everyone here in the high country. Nick and I won't be here, but make sure to stay tuned next semester. Go App!